and it's up to you to interpret how it should be. But he'll let you know when you're on the right path, because things will start clicking. It'll start growing the way it's supposed to be. For example, I was on the fence about what I wanted to do as far as my next step after, if I'm being honest. So my main goal is still to be able to write, produce, direct my own movies and TV shows. But that was a common goal that I shared with my co-host McKinley. And when we came up and we had that vision and that idea, and that's perfect. Eventually that is what's going to be able to afford me to be able to take my future wife and say, you know what, let's go have dinner in Paris tonight. Don't worry about packing a bag. We're just going to buy the tickets and go to the airport, and we'll buy new clothes once we get there. That's just going to be afforded to be able to live that one-way ticket lifestyle, to do what I want, when I want, and not have to answer to anybody. But I knew that there was something that I needed to do right now. I needed to be able to do more. I wanted to be a public speaker, but how do I get to that point? Do I go out and rent out an auditorium and hope for people to show up? That's not it's not really a financially beneficial thing that I needed to do, because then I would waste money in hopes of people showing up. No one can show up if they don't know who I am. So I put it out on Snapchat. It's like, hey, what should I do? And then Tracy approached me about coming up with this podcast. And from that moment, that idea snowballed. Within a month, we had our first episode. When that first episode launched, that first week, we're already on 9 different platforms within 1 week. A month later, this is episode 6, guys. 6 episodes later, and I've had people write me and say, what you said in episode 2 inspired me. What you said in episode 1, when you talked about in your first impressions, that inspired me to do this and do that. And I love that, guys. That means so much to me to be able to do that for somebody. And this podcast is that platform that's going to help promote everything else that I have to do. I might not make a single penny off this podcast, but this is how I chose to be able to use this gift. And when I put my energy and my focus to making this gift happen, other things started to fall into place. Everything else just lined up for itself. And that's what your gift can do for you. It's just a vehicle. Sometimes you have the wrong vehicle. You have the car that always breaks down on you, that's in the shop every other week. But then once you find that right vehicle and you take care of that vehicle, it'll take care of you. It'll get you to where you need to go. It'll be reliable. It'll do the things that a good vehicle is supposed to do. That investment is supposed to be able to get you from point A to point B safely, reliably, every single time you go out and start it up. And that's what this podcast is for. So, again, what is your gift? And more importantly, how will you use your gifts? So with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and stop it right there. I don't want to take up too much of your time on this holiday weekend. Again, as I said last week, guys, if you're out with your family, enjoy them, because tomorrow is not promised. And enjoy all the time that you have now and not regret not being able to do it later. Okay. And if you go out and go shopping and any of that stuff this week, just be mindful of those people that are working. They're spending time away from their family so that you can be out there shopping. Okay. And just be mindful and just consider yourself blessed to be able to spend that time, to be able to do those different things. And on that note, I will catch you all next week. Stay up, my young kings.